Step 15 in going from employee to entrepreneur is really where it starts to get exciting. You have the website built, you have your domain, you have your email address, you have your avatars, your messaging, you've crafted this amazing story selling message, you're ready to get the word out there. What does everybody do? We go to social media. You've purchased your domain name, you have your handles set for social media, it's all nice and cohesive. You've built a really cool 5 to 7 page website that you can start sending traffic to. You've integrated your Google Analytics, which is another thing that you should ask your agency to do. Now, how do we choose which platform is going to be right for your audience? If you're a coach, if you're someone in the consulting world, you've had an amazing professional career, you're making that first transition from employee to entrepreneur, I would almost expect at this point that you have a LinkedIn following. You have a LinkedIn audience. It's almost impossible to even get a job anymore in the corporate world without having a LinkedIn profile. It's become the new resume. So I would encourage anyone that's going from the professional services space, whether it's software, tech, AI, healthcare, pharma, sales, marketing, ops, whatever you're in, keep it on LinkedIn for now. Let's start with just one platform. And if you can let people know that, hey, I'm making the jump from employee to entrepreneur, I guarantee you that will be the post that gets the most engagement that you've ever posted, unless you're already an influencer in your job. Every time I've done this, most recently with Rhythm, you get the most engagement, the most applause, you get the most eyeballs on you because people are just intrigued, they're interested, they're fascinated because, again, 50% of everyone you're going to reach has a side hustle that you're talking to on this platform. So they want to see people kind of graduate and evolve and get better and start something new, start fresh. They want to see what you're going to build. They're going to be curious, just like you would or just like I would. So I think LinkedIn, if you're that entrepreneur that's been in the corporate world, had the 9 to 5 and had a presence on LinkedIn, I would absolutely lean into LinkedIn as a platform. Now, there's a lot of things that you can do when you're building your LinkedIn business page. The first thing you want to do is make sure that obviously your personal profile is tailored. You update everything so everyone knows that, hey, I started a new job and it's actually at a company of my own with one employee, and make that launch very public to the world. Tell the world about this. This is your lightning strike moment to define the before and after when you became an entrepreneur. Puts that dividing line and that linchpin in your career. Lets everyone know I'm doing this. I've been prepping for it. I did the financial risk mitigation. I have a brand ready. I have a website. I have my email. I have my domain. I've thought about this. We have avatars. We have offers. We have all this stuff that I've been working on for months and months, if not years. This is the moment where you want people to know about this. If you're doing it in stealth and in silence, that's one thing. If you're doing it purposely for that reason. But the more public you can be about this moment is going to be absolutely awesome for you. So you want to tell people because you never know who they're going to know that might need your services. The first day that we launched Rhythm, I got 10 leads from people that just reached out to me over DM or text saying, hey, that's awesome. I had no idea you were doing that. That's so cool. Let's talk. Let's see if I can find a way to either help you or I have someone in mind that might be a good client for you. So it just opens up an amazing world of possibilities. Now, this is not becoming an authority or an influencer on LinkedIn. That's a whole different session and a whole different strategy, a whole different system that we have later down the course. But just launching your business, do it on LinkedIn if you have an audience there. Now, same can be said for Facebook and Instagram. If you have an Instagram following, if you have a Facebook following, for anything. For me, I had a really large Instagram following being a musician. Same kind of followed suit on Facebook. So I leveraged Instagram to sort of launch Rhythm. I built an Instagram page for Rhythm, for the brand. I started posting content on it. We started shooting training videos just like this one. We started doing all of our podcast interviews and cutting them up for Instagram. We also post them to Facebook. We also post them to LinkedIn. So point being, find that core anchor platform that's going to be good for you, that you can build an audience from, you can build leads from, and it could be a combination of one or two. I gravitate towards, personally, as a 40-year-old guy, I don't spend a lot of time on TikTok personally, and for the brand, we lean into YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. So if you can optimize for two of those things, you are in great shape, especially as a budding entrepreneur. If you have a consistent voice on LinkedIn to keep your followers engaged, and you develop a platform on Instagram, you would be stunned at the amount of leads you can get from Instagram just by posting content and then elevating it to doing paid social on Instagram. Everybody says, I can't even tell you how many entrepreneurs say, oh, well, our audience leans older and they're in their 40s and 50s and 60s and they're not on Instagram, they're not on Facebook, on socials. That is bullshit. Everybody is on every one of those platforms mentioned. Do you think that people really go home and they're so stoked about their corporate 9 to 5 that all they're looking at is LinkedIn for that day to see how they can more engage with corporate America? Like, no, nobody does that. I promise you. Everyone is doom scrolling on one platform or another, looking for something. They're on Instagram or they're on Facebook Facebook. Younger generation, obviously TikTok. But the more consistently that you can anchor your social following into one or two of these platforms, maybe staying a little bit more corporate, a little bit more professional on LinkedIn, but also starting one other platform, whether it's a LinkedIn or Facebook, especially YouTube would be a great option if you're shooting video, if you're doing a podcast. But you would be stunned at the audience that comes out of the woods, especially on Instagram. If you've never thought that social media could be a way you could grow your business, we drive thousands of leads every month on paid social media, specifically on Instagram. And you would never expect the types of audiences to come out of the woodwork on that platform that lean a little bit older, that are watching stuff on YouTube, that are scrolling on Instagram at night, and transition over to LinkedIn during the day for business content. So everybody is everywhere. You don't want to put yourself in a box and think that just because you came from corporate America, you can only post and be present on LinkedIn. That's absolutely not the case. That's a death wish for your business. You have to leverage multiple platforms for social media, but find the one where your biggest audience is first. Lean into it to make the announcement, and then make that transition into likely Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube to grow your content over time.